Okay, so we have these this data from the class that was actually we did the linear regression for. So I just want to show you guys how to do regression analysis in Google Sheets. So again, in the add-on statistics, before we went to describe data, now we're going to go to regression. So what regression means is we're gonna fit an x and y graph to this here and see what the equation would be. So it asks you to add a response variable, and it'll take your columns if you've lined them up. And response means it might be hard to understand, but it's the one that it's the dependent variable. So distance is the dependent variable. Predictor is a little bit easier to understand. So time is going to predict the distance. So that's your x value. So your x variable is the predictor. I don't want any of this right now. All I want is the r squared and the two coefficients. So if we just hit create, it's going to pop up a little a new screen on your spreadsheet. And so here's going to be the r squared value, which is 0.99777. If you want to take the square root of that to get your r value, you can just type sqrt and then click on your r squared and you can get the r value. And so that's going to be 0.99. And then here it tells you, so we kind of understand through Ontario math that the intercept, so that's the coefficient of the base term, is 1.5. And so we can actually write our own equation. Unfortunately, it doesn't write you the equation, but in the form mx plus b, it'd be 0.5x, because that's the time, x is time, plus 1.5. And so that's going to be our equation of the line. Now, if you actually want to get a graph, none of these actually give you the graph, but a spreadsheet will give you a graph if you highlight. So again, when you highlight, just click the middle and hit insert chart. And then it will predict what you want, but if you go to chart types, you actually want a scatter plot. So if we click scatter plot, it gives you the time and the distance. It does automatically break the graph. So if you don't want it to break the graph, you got to go to customization and then change the axis to vertical. And then you have to tell it to minimize at 0. So that way you've got it. Now under customization, since we're already there, to get the line of best fit, you just go all the way down, go to trend line. You can fit a different type, but we're just going to focus on linear. And then scroll down again, and you can allow it to show the r squared. So it'll actually give you the same r squared that we got before. This will actually also give you the equation of the line that we had before, which is y equals 0.5x plus 1.5. The only thing about Google Sheets as of recording this video is that this line only comes up in the chart editor. So we actually still have to kind of type that line out. And so now that if you're mousing over it right now, don't click on it, just mouse over it. You can write that down, and then you've got your equation of the line with your r squared. So the regression part doesn't really add a lot, except for it does kind of calculate the r squared and the intercepts. It also leaves it open, this kind of knowledge, like for stats, the next level, to start playing around with these ideas. And also to start to like fit multi-variable models, so we could have more predictor variables to the response, which is really interesting. And that also gives you some coefficients as well. But you have to learn how to read these numbers to find out if those coefficients actually mean something. So your r squared is 0.9777, and we've got our equation line, which is 0.5x plus 0.5.